Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rams. So today we are going to discuss about system of particles and rotational motion. Before going to start this topic, please watch my previous videos based on work, energy and power. I had covered all the topics based on this work, energy, power. And as you are watching the videos, please try to understand the subject by analyzing. As much as you analyze, you can understand the physics in easy. While reading the physics or while watching the videos, you have to analyze the physics, then only you can understand it easily. Why? Because the concepts are very important in the case of physics. So let us discuss about center of mass. So before going to discuss about this center of mass, just revise motion. So as we consider motion, here motion is classified into three types. First one is translatory motion, or we can also call it as a linear motion, and second one is a rotatory motion, and the third one is a rotational motion. So here, when a body is moving in the forward direction along the horizontal or vertical along a straight line, then we can represent it as a translatory or linear motion. Here the body is moving along the path, straight path. Whereas rotatory motion is nothing but if a wheel or any body rotates about a fixed axis, then we can call it as a rotatory motion. Whereas rotational motion is nothing but combination of translatory as well as Rotatory motion. Let us discuss an example based on this rotational motion. If we consider a car wheel, here observe that the wheel possesses a rotatory motion. Why? Because the wheel is rotating about the axis, as well as it possesses a translatory motion. Why? Because the car is moving in the forward direction. So based on that, we can say that the car wheel possesses a rotational motion. As we observe this rotational motion of this car wheel, observe that the wheel is moving in the forward direction like this. As we consider different particles on this car wheel, they are experiencing the rotational motion. Observe that if I consider a particle at this location, so as the wheel moves in the forward direction, it attends its place. Afterwards, again it moves here, again here, and here. In this way, here this point is moving in the forward direction by changing its path. Means it possesses a rotatory motion as well as a linear motion. Means here this particle is experiencing the rotational motion. Whereas when we consider a particle at the center, since the wheel is moving in a rotational path, here observe that this particle is not changing its position. This point is not changing its place. It remains constant throughout the entire path. The point where the body experiences this translatory motion, the point where the body experiences this translatory motion is represented as a center of mass of the body. Center of mass of the body. Let's see the definition of this center of mass. Observe that it is defined as the total mass of the body or system is concentrated to describe the translatory motion. It is a system or a body is experiencing the total mass at that point such that it experiences the translatory motion and characteristics of the motion of the whole body or entire body, that represents the center of mass. Means if a body experiences a translatory motion when it is moving in rotational motion, then that point can be represented as a center of mass. Take a screenshot, we'll continue. Now we are going to discuss about the system of two particles along one dimension. So here we are going to consider system of two particles along one dimension. So for this, here I am going to consider two particles which are being placed along the x-axis, where mass of the first particle is m1 and mass of the second particle is m2, and these two particles are being separated by a distance d. These two particles are being separated by a distance of d. So here, as you observe, center of mass will be nearer to the heavier mass. And here we know that r is distance is inversely proportional to mass. So here we are going to represent the center of mass point in between m1 and m2, which is at a distance of x cm from origin, which is at a distance of x cm from origin. So here we had represented a reference frame, whereas mass m1 is at a distance of x1 from origin, whereas here mass m2 is at a distance of x2 from origin. From the center of mass point m1 is represented at a distance of r1. From this xcm, m1 is at a distance of r1, and from this xcm, m2 is at a distance of r2. And already we had discussed that these two particles are being separated by a distance d. These two particles are being separated by a distance d. So from this, now we are going to represent the equation for center of mass along one dimension. For this, here observe that r1 is equals to xcm minus x1. From this equation, here observe that r1 is equals to xcm minus x1. So I am going to write this as r1 equals to x suffix cm minus x1. Whereas observe that r2 equals to x2 minus xcm. Why? Because we require this. So if we subtract xcm from this x2, then automatically we will get r2. Observe that r2 is equals to x2 minus x suffix c. Now observe that r is inversely proportional to m. Based on that, we can represent it as m1 into r1 is equals to m2 into r2. So if we substitute the value of r1 and r2 in this equation, then we can represent it as m1 into x suffix cm minus x1 equals to m2 into x2 minus x suffix c. So as we separate this, here we have m1 into x suffix cm minus m1 into x1 equals to m2 x2 minus m suffix 2 into xc. If you bring this equation towards this side and this equation towards this side, then we can represent it as m1 into x suffix cm plus m suffix 2 into x suffix cm is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2. As we take xcm as common, then we can represent it as xcm into m1 plus m2 is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2, whereas x suffix cm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. For two particle system, we had represented the position of the center of mass xcm. We had represented the center of mass point as xcm is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. And similarly, we can represent the center of mass along y-axis as m1 y1 plus m2 y2 by m1 plus m2. Similarly, along the z-axis, it can be represented as zcm is equals to m1 z1 plus m2 z2 by m1 plus m2. So along x-axis, along y-axis, along the z-axis, we can represent the center of mass point based on two particle system. Take a screenshot. We will continue. Now we are going to discuss about position vector of a center of mass. For this, we consider a body or a system. We represent a number of particles. Observe that here we have a particle of mass m1, which is at a position of r1 from the origin. From origin, it is at a position of r1. whereas m2 particle is at a position of r2, whereas center of mass point is at a position of rcm, and mass of the nth particle is at a position of r suffix n. Then position vector of center of mass is given as rcm is equals to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 and m3 r3 and so on, m suffix n r suffix n by m1 plus m2 and so on, m suffix n, m suffix n. So if we consider this masses m1 plus m2 and so on, m suffix n as capital M. Why? Because capital M represents some total mass of this body based on these masses. So instead of writing m1 plus m2 and so on, m suffix n, we can write it directly as capital M. Then r suffix cm is equals to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 and so on, m suffix n r suffix n by capital M. Capital M. Now we had represented the positional vector of this center of mass point based on a system of particles. Now we have to represent the velocity of a center of mass, where we know that velocity is nothing but a rate of change of position. We know that v is equals to dr by dt. So in order to represent the velocity of center of mass of this system, here we are going to differentiate this equation with respect to time. Then here we have dr suffix cm by dt is equals 1 by m into m1 into dr1 by dt plus m2 into dr2 by dt and so on, m suffix n into dr suffix n by dt. And here we know that v is equals to dr by dt. Then based on that we can represent it as velocity of the center of mass is equals to 1 by m into m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus and so on, m suffix n v suffix n. So if you bring this capital M towards this side, then we can represent it as m into v suffix m is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus and so on, m suffix n v suffix m, where we know that momentum p is equals to mv. So in the place of m into v suffix m, we can represent the momentum of center of mass. Then we can represent it as p suffix cm is equals to p1 plus p2 and so on, p suffix n. This represents the momentum of a center of mass of a body. Now based on this, now we have to represent the force acting at the center of mass point. For this we are going to differentiate this equation again with respect to time. Why? Because we know that acceleration is equals to rate of change of velocity. So in order to attain this, we are going to differentiate this equation with respect to time. Then we can represent it as dv suffix cm by dt is equals to 1 by m into m1 into dv1 by dt plus m2 into dv suffix 2 by dt and so on, m suffix n into dv suffix n by dt, where we know that a is equals to dv by dt. As we substitute here, we have a suffix cm is equals to 1 by m into m1 a1 plus m2 a2 and so on, m suffix n a suffix n, where we know that force according to Newton's second law, F is equals to ma. Based on that, as we bring this m towards this side, we can represent it as m into a suffix cm is equals to m1 a1 plus m2 a2 and so on, m suffix n a suffix n, where we know that F is equals to ma. Based on that, we can represent it as a force acting at the center of mass is equals to F1 plus F2 and so on F suffix n. This represents a force acting at the center of mass point. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Let us solve the first problem. After that, find the position of a center of mass of the system of three objects of masses 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg located at the corners of an equilateral triangle of side 1 meter. Each side is of 1 meter. Take 1 kg mass at the origin. We are going to consider the 1 kg mass at this origin and at 2 kg along the x-axis. So here this is x-axis and it is a y-axis. So based on that, now we have to find the equation for center of mass, position of a center of mass. In order to find this, we have to represent the coordinates of 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg. Observe that 1 kg is at the origin, so the coordinates of this 1 kg are 0, 0. Whereas observe that 2 kg is along the x-axis, so we can represent it as 1, 0. Why? Because the 2 kg is not along the y-axis, so here we consider along y-axis it as 0, whereas along one x-axis it is at a distance of 1 meter. So now we have to represent the coordinates for this 3 kg. In order to represent this, observe that this triangle is having the 60-degree of angle. Why? Because it is an equilateral triangle. Triangle is an equilateral triangle. So as we consider this like this. So since this line makes an angle of 60 degrees with respect to x-axis, if we consider it as a side as a, it resolves into components as a cos 60 as well as a sin 60. So cos 60, we know that cos 60 is nothing but 1/2, so we can represent it as a/2, and a sin 60 is nothing but √3 a/2. Why? Because sin 60 is √3/2. So here we are having a side of 1 meter, a is equals to 1 meter, then the coordinates of 3 kg can be given as 1/2 comma √3/2. So based on these coordinates we have to represent the position of a center of mass, whereas RCM is equals to M1 R1 plus M2 R2 plus M3 R3 by M1 plus M2 plus M3. So this is the equation given for position of a center of mass. Observe these coordinates. 1 kg is at 0, 0. So here R1 is given as 0, 0 and R2 is given as 1, 0 and R3 is given as 1/2 √3/2. So as we substitute these values, we can find the position of center of mass equation. Whereas here observe that M1 is equals to 1 kg, whereas M2 is equals to 2 kg and M3 is equals to 3 kg. So RCM is equals to 1 into 0, 0 plus 2 into 1, 0, 3 into 1/2 √3/2 by 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6. So RCM is equals to, observe that 1 into 0 is 0, 1 into 0 is 0, whereas 2 into 1 nothing but 2 and 2 into 0 is 0, 2, 0 plus 3/2 3 into √3/2 nothing but 3 √3/2 by 6. 3/2 plus 2. So based on that here we can represent it as 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 3, 7/2, 0 plus 3 √3/2, 3 √3/2 by 6. So if we bring this to downward direction, here we have 7/12, 3 √3/12. So these are the coordinates of position of a center of mass, or we can also represent it as 7 by 12, 3 4s are 12, so we have root 3 by 4. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is two 3 kg masses having velocities v1 bar equals to 2 I cap plus 3 j cap meter per second and v2 bar equals to 4 I cap minus 6 j cap meter per second. Now we have to find velocity of the center of mass as well as the total momentum of the system as well as the total velocity of the center mass after 5 seconds of application of force. F is equals to 24 I cap Newton, whereas we have to find the position of center of mass after 5 seconds if it is at the origin at t equals to 0 seconds. So first of all, let us solve the velocity of center of mass. In order to find this, here observe that velocity v1 bar is equals to 2 I cap plus 3 j cap meter per second, whereas v2 bar is equals to 4 I cap minus 6 j cap meter per second. And here the force acting on the body is 24 I cap Newton. So this is the force acting on the body. So first of all, we have to find the velocity of the center of mass, and we know that v suffix cm is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 by m1 plus m2. But here observe that these two bodies are having same mass, means m1 is equals to m2 is equals to 3 kg. So as a substitute here we have 3 into 2 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 3 into 4 I cap minus 6 j cap by 3 plus 3 6. 3 into 2 6 I cap, 3 into 3 9. Observe that as 6 plus 12. 6 plus 12 is nothing but 18 I cap, and here observe that 3 into 3 9, and here we have 6 3s are 18. 18 minus 9 nothing but 9 I cap by j cap 9 j cap by 6. So here we can take a 3 as common, then here we have, if we take a 3 as common, 6 3s are 18, 6 I cap minus 3 j cap by 6. Here 2 gets cancelled, so we have 6 I cap minus 3 j cap by 2. So this represents the velocity of the center of mass. Now we have to represent the total momentum of the system, and here we know that total momentum of the system is given as p suffix cm is equal to m into v suffix c. So the total mass of the system is nothing but 6 kg. So here the total momentum of the system is equal to 6 into velocity of the center of mass, nothing but 6 I cap minus 3 j cap by 2. So here we have 6 3s are 18 I cap minus 9 j cap kg meter per second, and here we have meter per second. So now we had derived momentum of the system. Based on that, we have to represent velocity of the center mass after 5 seconds of application of the force. Since here we are applying a force, the body gains acceleration, whereas acceleration of the center of mass is given as a force acting on the body by mass of the body, whereas the force is 24 I cap by mass of the body is 6. So 4 6 24. So here we have 4 I cap. So this is the acceleration of the center of mass of the body. Now we have to find the velocity of the center of mass of the body after a time t is equals to 5 seconds. For this we consider equation v is equals to u plus at, whereas initial velocity is nothing but velocity of the center of mass at a time t equals to 0. whereas acceleration is 4 I cap and time t is 5 seconds. If we substitute all the values, here we have velocity of the center of mass at time t is equals to 5 seconds is v suffix c is equals to 6 I cap minus 3 j cap by 2 plus 4 I cap into 5. Then v suffix c equals to 6 I cap minus 3 j cap. As we do LCM here, we have observed that 4 into 5, 4 5 is 20, 20 into 2, 40, 40 I cap by 2. 40 plus 6, nothing but 46, 46 I cap minus 3 j cap by 2. So this represents the velocity of the center of mass point after 5 seconds. Now again observe that we have to find the position of the center of mass after 5 seconds if it is at the origin at a t equals to 0 seconds. So for this we use the equation s equals to ut plus half at square. Initially, since the position is represented as origin, means here we consider initial position as 0. Then here we have position of the center of mass after 5 seconds is observe that initial velocity is 6 I cap minus 3 j cap by 2. 6 I cap minus 3 j cap by 2 into 5 plus half into a is 4 I cap into 5 square is nothing but 25. So based on that, here we have 5 6 30 I cap, 5 3 is 15 j cap, and observe that 25 4 is 100 I cap by, here we have 2 common, 2. Then based on that 100 plus the 30, nothing but 130 I cap minus 15 j cap by 2. Position is meter and here velocity meter per second. So this represents the position of the center of mass point after 5 seconds on applying a force of 24 I cap Newton. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is, if a circular disc of radius r by 2 is cut from a circular disc r as shown in figure, find the shift in the center of mass. Observe that here we had considered a circular disc of radius r. Then the position of the center of mass for this disc is given as RCM is equal to 0, 0. When this part has been cut, then this position for this disc is given as R1 equals to how much part has been cut? Radius r by 2, 0. Because along y-axis we represent it as 0. Now here we had represented the position of this center of mass for this part. Now here we have to represent the mass. In order to represent this, we consider surface density, areal density. Then here areal density is given as sigma equals to, let us consider the mass of this part as a small m by pi r by 2 square. Pi r by 2 square. From this equation, here let us consider it as m1. Then from this equation here we have m1 equals to sigma into pi r square by 4. Pi r square by 4. Let us consider the mass of this total disc as capital M. From this, if we consider the total mass of the disc as capital M, then here we have sigma equals to m by pi r square. So from this here we have m equals sigma into pi r square. So instead of sigma into pi r square, we can substitute capital M. So from this equation here we have m1 equals to capital M by 4. Mass of this disc which has been cut is capital M by 4. So now we have to represent the mass of the remaining disc. So for that here we consider m2 is equals to total mass m minus mass of this part, mass of this part. Then here we have m minus m by 4, which is equals to 3m by 4. m2 is equals to 3m by 4. So now here we had represented mass of this remaining part, and we had represented the position of this part as well as mass of this part. Now we have to represent the position of the remaining part, whereas position of the remaining part is given as r2 equals to, since it has been shifted along the x-axis, we can represent it as x comma 0. Now based on the equation, we know that position of the center of mass is given as mrcm is equals to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 by m1 plus m2, whereas m1 is m by 4. m by 4 into position is r by 2 comma 0, and m2 is 3m by 4 comma x comma 0 by m by 4 plus 3m by 4, whereas RCM is equals to 0 comma 0. 0 comma 0. So here observe that we can take m as common, and m by 4 plus 3m by 4 is m. So m gets cancelled on numerator and denominator. Then the remaining coordinates are 0 comma 0 is equals to r by 2 into 4, nothing but r by 8 comma 0 plus, observe that 3 by 4 into x. 3 by 4 into x. So here observe that r by 8 plus 3x by 4 is equals to 0. 0 plus 0 equals to 0. So here we neglect that. From this equation here we have 3x by 4 is equals to minus r by 8. And here observe that 4 2s are 8. So we have 3x is equals to minus r by 2. And here we have x equals to minus r by 6. So shifting the center of mass from origin to this point is minus r by 6. Why here we got negative sign means, since we had considered x-axis, it has been shifted along the negative x-axis. That's why it is being represented with a negative sign. Take a screenshot. I hope that you had enjoyed my video. Please give a like to this video, share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.